Despite the short life expectancy, the gladiator profession was one of the most glamorous in ancient Rome. The battles between gladiators attracted thousands of spectators, including the biggest names in Roman society at the time. In this video, we will see a list of the 10 greatest Roman gladiators. 1. Tetraides. Tetraides was uncovered in graffiti found in Pompeii in 1817. These images illustrated his courageous victory over Prudes. Tetraides was a popular gladiator in ancient Rome, famous for entering the arena without a breastplate in the Myrmidon style. He wore a short sword, a large rectangular shield, a helmet, arm and shin guards. Although the details of many of his fights are not documented, he is known for defeating Prudes. Both were popular and are depicted on glass vases found in present-day France, England, and Hungary. The sculptures depict Tetraides' victory over Prudes, and, most likely, the moment when his fame reached new heights. 2. Spiculus. One of the most famous gladiators in the 1st century AD in Rome was Spiculus. Not only was he popular with the regular public, but he was also greatly admired by the notorious Roman Emperor Nero. Spiculus won battles against many skilled opponents. Nero was particularly impressed by his heroism and offered him endless palaces and wealth. Nero was so infatuated with him that, when he was dethroned in 68 AD, he wanted to die quickly at Spiculus's hands. But his advisors could not find Spiculus in time, and Nero committed suicide. Spiculus's fame did not depend solely on his relationship with Nero. Depictions of him in various ancient Roman works of art testify to his massive popularity. 3. Hermes. There are no detailed documents about the life of the ancient Roman gladiator Hermes, but he was profusely praised by the contemporary Roman poet Martial. He even devoted an entire poem to Hermes' skills as a gladiator. In the poem, each line begins with the name Hermes. Martial describes him as a skilled fighter, overwhelmingly superior to other gladiators. Most gladiators chose a fighting style, training hard to master the relevant skills. Hermes had an aptitude for using many gladiator weapons and was not only versed in most fighting styles, he was also proficient in at least 3 different gladiator techniques. This knowledge gave him a huge advantage over his opponents. 4 and 5. Priscus and Verus. These two probably won several fights as skilled gladiators, but they are best known for the legendary decisive battle where they faced each other. Priscus and Verus fought an epic contest in the 1st century AD in the famous Flavian amphitheater. The last battle was also the first major spectacle in the Flavian arena, something documented in detail by the poet Martial. After fighting for hours on end in a nail-biting performance, the two warriors submitted to each other simultaneously. In respect for each other's skill and courage, they dropped their swords and were cheered by the crowd. The event organizer, Emperor Titus, was also moved by the conclusion of the battle. He offered the rudis to both, a small wooden sword that granted gladiators freedom after retirement. 6. Carpophorus. The era of ancient Roman gladiators was hallmarked by famous bestiarii, gladiators who fought wild animals. This profession was notorious for its absurdly short life expectancy, even considering the already diminutive gladiator standards. As a celebrated bestiary, Carpophorus was instinctively talented when it came to fighting wild animals. In the arena, he was much more skilled against animals than in hand-to-hand combat against other gladiators. Carpophorus routinely faced wild animals, such as lions, bears, leopards, and rhinos. He even fought at the opening of the famous Flavian amphitheater and defeated bears, lions, and leopards in a single battle. On another occasion, he killed a fierce rhinoceros with a single spear. But his and the audience's favorite performance was when he killed 20 different beasts in a single battle. 7. Crixus. Renowned military leader during the Third Servile War, Crixus was a Gaulish gladiator with enormous success against much larger opponents, but he despised the leader and owner of his gladiator school. When a revolt broke out at that training academy, Crixus was one of the 70 lucky gladiators who escaped. He later played a key role in defeating a small group of soldiers sent to suppress the rebellion. Other fugitive gladiators joined in and formed a fearsome group, but Crixus wanted only to take revenge on the Roman high society. This sparked a dispute between him and the rebellion's leader. He left the group, along with several supporters, intending to destroy southern Italy. But fate had different plans for Crixus. The Roman legions tracked him down before he could carry out a surprise attack. He fought with all his might in the subsequent desperate battle, but died at the hands of the enemy. 8. Marcus Attilius. He chose to be a gladiator. Despite being born a Roman citizen, Attilius opted to enter the gladiator school to settle the heavy debts incurred during his life. In the first battle, he defeated Hilarus, Nero's gladiator, who had won 13 times in a row. In another battle, Attilius defeated Ratius Felix, who had won 12 battles in a row. Attilius's feats were chronicled in mosaics and graffiti discovered in 2007. 9. Flamma. Flamma is one of the most renowned Roman gladiators. His real name was not Flamma, as this was just the stage moniker meaning flame. But this talented athlete justified the name given his history as a fearsome gladiator. Before he began his career as a gladiator, he was a Syrian soldier, captured and put into battle against a powerful opponent only to die quickly. That was the end of him, but only after he managed to defeat numerous opponents in the great Colosseum arena. Using a small sword and shield, as well as covering only half of his body with armor, he terrorized his opponents for some 13 years in fights that attracted many spectators. When he died at the age of 30, he had fought an astonishing 34 battles, 21 of which he won, 9 draws, and only 4 defeats. He was offered a rudis and his freedom on 4 separate occasions, but he always refused the offer and continued to live as a warrior. 10. Spartacus. A Thracian soldier by birth, Spartacus was captured by the Romans and sold into slavery. His owner ran a gladiator school in Capua and figured he could profit from Spartacus's talent as a gladiator. However, a true soldier values freedom far more than anything else. Spartacus helped plan a rebellion that led to the escape of 70 gladiators from the school, equipped with improvised weapons. Crixus was among the escapees and became Spartacus's right-hand man. They escaped together to the slopes of Mount Vesuvius and freed many other slaves along the way, significantly increasing their ranks. Spartacus assembled a large fighting force. This horde defeated the Roman legions sent to capture them on more than 6 separate occasions. But in 71 BC, Marcus Licinius Crassus assembled a well-trained force of 50,000 men to wreak havoc among the rebel forces. Spartacus was unable to withstand the calculated attack of the Roman army and was killed in southern Italy, ending the story of the most famous gladiator in Roman history. Roman gladiators gained unparalleled popularity among the general public, as they were seen as true working-class heroes. Yes, most of them were slaves, but this did not detract from their status in Roman history. Although they were not highly valued among the upper echelons of society, the impact of the great gladiator battles was so great that even Roman emperors enjoyed being part of the spectacle. Gladiators may even have been looked down upon by upper-class Romans, but none equaled the fame and admiration that these warriors won among the common people. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Cheers and see you in the next video.